So these ideas have come such a long way in the past year, even since or 2 years since the presidential campaign started. When Andrew Yang was kind of at the beginning of a lot of this, but Bernie, of course, pushing this back in 2016. And you go back to 2016, and these were insane ideas. Medicare for all. We're not a socialist country. Get out of here with that shit. Even in the primary, the Democrats weren't going to vote for that, even though he did almost end up winning the thing. But the point is, in the past 2, 3, 4 years, we've come a long way with these ideas. What's the next step for actually getting these ideas implemented? Yes, we're changing minds in Congress. Yes, you do have a significant number of congressmen and women who are advocating for these ideas, but it's not enough yet. What do we need to be doing to keep advancing these ideas and finally actually start to see them implemented on a national level?
Keep their feet to the fire. If we say we want this, do it. If not, you're getting primaried. Period. Your job is at stake. You are not guaranteed this job. AOC proved that shit to Crowley back in 2016.
Yep.
Yeah.
And damn it, 2022, you're not safe. 2024, you're not safe. You're never safe. You will never be comfortable again.
So how do we find the candidates that are going to be primary and going to be bringing these new ideas into Congress?
I think it's people like us.
Yeah.
Because public media, corporately sponsored media is no longer a trusted source. And that's why I'm actually in love with Clubhouse right now, where people are accessible and they're like never before. It is the weirdest.
What is Clubhouse?
Clubhouse is this brand new app that's invite only during the beta stage. Do you guys have an iPhone?
No.
Android.
Well, one of you can be in there. Right now it's because Android's such a big server. They can't afford to have a server that damn big to start now in the beta. Okay. But right now it's iPhone, it's Mac only, iOS only for iPhones. Okay. But it's like Reddit had a baby with TED Talks.
Oh, okay.
There's continuous discussions going on 24 hours a day, and there's these Clubhouse rooms that are themed. And there's big time influencers, marketers. So like Elon Musk came on at 1 o'clock in the morning and blew up the goddamn app. The server had to stop.
Everything he does blows things up. He can't help it.
I know, but people like him are accessible there.
Wow.
And so in Clubhouse, it's a continuous conversation, and it's like I heard this guy say that this is gonna make podcasting and the radio seem cool again. Like as far as like a push in that direction for community building. And so places like Clubhouse, podcasting, online forums, especially during the pandemic, we have to be, how do you want to put that? Intentionally informed.
Right.
Like you have to seek out the information. Yeah. And
Vigilant,
so I think we all got to do a better job of finding those candidates and elevating them.
Are there organizations that are doing that? I mean, I know Yang's new platform is Humanity Forward, which is about taking the ideas of the campaign and continuing to advocate for them and to elevate voices who are also advocating for them. And that's how we found out, about people like Dr. Reverend Wendy Hamilton in DC and Erica Rhodes in California. Jermaine Johnson, obviously, Yang was a big backer of his campaign. But are there other organizations that are doing similar things? I think Tom Lung from Nerds for Yang or Nerds for Humanity now is working on a project for that as well to elevate people who are not just from one side of the political spectrum, but people who generally have these ideas about working for the people and lifting the people.
Yeah, Tom has a website called ofthepeople.us, I believe it is.
That's right.
And that's where you can find candidates. And candidates can find supporters, campaign managers, staffers, social media people. It's like it's like a recruiting place, if you will.
Yeah.
To test out your ideas, and you can say, okay, I'm going to run in this district. This is my demographics in this district.
It's like a message board almost, like a
What's
community message, almost like a community message board for politics.
Yep. And you can say, I plan on running on A, B, C, and X, Y, Z. And then people will chime in and say, you know what? I don't think that's going to work. Then we're not going to get behind you. Simple. little things like that. But there's also the Wolf Pack. There's also what's the other one that Kyle Kalinske did? The AOC, the Squad. They're in this one. What the hell's that called?
Justice Democrats.
Justice Democrats.
They've been wildly successful, and they're such an inspiration because they've done the branding thing so well. If somebody's able to get supported by Justice Democrats, it means that all of your imagery, all of your design is going to be super top notch, and it's going to make you look like a much more serious candidate. Because often running for local office, people just don't have the right funding and the right support to be able to hire the best agencies for this kind of stuff. And so if you get somebody like Justice Democrats who already has funding for these ideas because, you know, they want to support candidates who are going to be supporting the right ideas, then all of a sudden, you know, it elevates your campaign. So it's so cool to see how they're doing that at Justice Democrats. And I think that would be a model to try to emulate for anybody else who's trying to do a similar thing.
That's what I'm hoping that Tom does with I fully support. I actually donate to his thing, a reoccurring monthly payment of the people.us.
Nice.
Because it is that same type of infrastructure you're talking about that will help like the next AOC, the next Andrew Yang, the next Reverend Wendy and Erica and Dr. Jermaine, all of it.
Right.
That gives them a place to go, you know, sharpen their iron, you know, like, okay, get a little pushback.
Right.
And also find kick-ass volunteers, man.
Right.
Graphic artists, video editors. When I was I went down to Kentucky for the primaries against Mitch McConnell.
Yes. Fuck Mitch McConnell. I'll say it again.
Bitch Mitch, that son of a bitch, you know. But
we got halfway there. We got halfway there. He's no more majority leader.
Senate minority leader Mitch McConnell.
Got demoted. Which is, I'm sure it's very embarrassing for an elitist, but poor guy. Same paycheck. But he so Mike Breuer was running against him as in the primary with Amy something or other. I call her Pete Jr.
Amy McGrath.
And Charles Johnson.
Booker.
Charles Booker. Yes.
Right.
I like Charles Booker too.
Charles Booker was fantastic. And if the fucking Democratic National Convention had actually just backed Charles Booker instead of Amy McGrath, I think that we would have actually ousted Mitch McConnell. It was really unfortunate because Charles Booker was a lot more progressive and he was really just a lot more in the ear of his constituents.
Right, but is that the right person for Kentucky? I don't know.
Anyone that isn't Mitch McConnell is the right person for Kentucky.
No, but in terms of you know, the primary, I don't know. Would have been interesting to see.
It is a problem. Like there's a weird divide in Kentucky. It's a unique place. But when I was down there, he had two brothers running his show and they were slick.
Yeah.
One was the behind the scenes campaign manager, strategic kid. And I say kid, young 20, right?
Yeah.
20 something, like 22.
Yeah.
Then his little brother was a high school senior.
Nice.
Who was cutting he's making all of his graphics and editing all his videos, making his literal campaign videos that are playing on national television in Kentucky.
Made by a high
kid
schooler.
Was making it in his basement.
Amazing.
How can you afford graphic artists and how can you afford these editors like this? What the hell? Look at your numbers. You got nothing close to what Amy's got. How the hell are your commercials? He's like, I got two kids that come to my house and they just kick ass.
Yep.
And that's the type of people we need to go to ofthepeople.us, right? And those are just two people in one town in one state.
Yeah. And
there
they made a
are
huge difference.
1,000 of those people in every state. You just got to give them what they need is time and resources. That's
Absolutely.
it. It's really that simple. None of these are unlimited. So we got to be careful with our resources. So I think that's how we as a movement get behind the Justice Democrats. And I don't want to compete against them. I want to make them better.
Absolutely.
They're already good at what they do.
Right.
Let's, just like the Democrats, let's make the Democrats better. Okay, let's infiltrate and let's cooperate, not obliterate. Like, I got no problem with Justice Democrats. They're fighting for people, man.
Yeah.
I would never have a problem with that. I don't have to agree with everything they think of on each individual policy, but as a movement, it is the right side of history, 100%. So that's how that's how I look at it. They don't understand their yang gang. They don't understand they are fighting for human-centered capitalism. They just call it a different name.
Yeah.
Fighting for the same cause, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's how we do it. We got to find, good partners, man. But I will say this. The president isn't the problem. It's
Correct.
Congress is the problem.
Mm-hmm.
If we can put the pressure on, they control the money.
Mm-hmm.
They're the purse. They get the purse. Yep. They write the checks, and they write the bills that the president signs.
Mm-hmm.
We can put enough pressure on a president. That's easy. That's easy.
Mm-hmm. Putting pressure on Congress.
Bro, you got a problem.
Votes. Yeah.
But Congress is where the money's at. So we have to find, like, for me, I don't know if I want to be associated with the slimy ass bullshit of the Democratic Party as well as the Republican Party. The last place I'll be as a Republican, let's be honest. But Democrats, the moderate Democrats, becoming farther away from me than ever. And it's more obvious now than ever because of the bullshit. They wrote a check and they didn't cash it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Period.
Yeah.
Period.
Yep.
They flipped the Senate on a false promise.
They have no reason to say there's no obstructionist bullshit. Like, we don't have to work with the minority. We don't have to work with Mitch McConnell anymore. We don't have to get him to sign off on shit. So why the fuck why has none of this gotten passed yet? Like, why is there no talk of getting any of this passed? It's obnoxious because you can't say, oh, well, the Senate held it up. All right, well, no, they didn't.
Well, they are having some problems in the Senate because you have people like Joe Manchin, who is a Democrat technically, but still comes from a very, very conservative red state, West Virginia. They were talking about nuking the filibuster, and he vetoed that essentially because you need every Democrat to cooperate. So it gives people like Joe Manchin or Kristen Sinema from Arizona, people who might be a little bit more middle of the road or might not necessarily always want to go along with everything you wanting to do. It gives them a lot more power to get what they want, and it gives them negotiating power, which is. It's still a challenge, but at the end of the day, you're right. I mean, Joe's got to get it done, man. Dem's got to get it done. If they don't get it done, they're going to get so screwed in the midterms in 2022. Speaking of 2022, though, who are you excited about? Who's running in 2022? Anybody coming up in the grapevine that's pushing some of these ideas that we should be supporting?
Just the two that we know of, Erica Rhodes and Reverend Wendy. That's it. That's able to announce. Let's put it that way. Like me and another guy named Ron Marzette from McCoy. He's also in Michigan. He's going to be probably in an adjacent district as me. We're going to work together, and we're gonna go kick some ass, man. Like, but we can't announce until we know what the hell we're going to be in.
Right.
And so in 2022, it's state senate is up for me in Michigan specifically. So there's two people that I could run against, but. And then the other ones are like state assembly, other state assembly positions. I just don't know what they're going to be because those are the even smaller district voting blocks. So, I'm willing to step up and go big though. State Senate.
Go big, go home.
Nice.
We got some real fucking turds here, man. Democrats.
Nice. Well,
Democrat.
Yeah.
Right.
Put their feet to the fire.
Yeah, well, we can't wait to hear about that campaign. Hopefully that's able to materialize, and hopefully we can, be an asset to you in helping you get that off the ground. That is so exciting to hear about. It'll be fun to hear about what that's like, behind the scenes, getting into the beehive.
It'd be weird. Like, think about that, seeing your face on a damn sign.
Right.
What?
Right.
No, I don't want that. Like, I don't want to run. But what choice do I have?
Exactly.
Yeah. No, that's so true. At the end of the day, we got to step up and we got to be engaged, and whether that just means finding the people to support or that means actually throwing your hat in the ring. It's so important that, we become informed and we get involved because politics at the end of the day and democracy, as Serja says, democracy's like love. Got to make it every day, man. Got to make it every day.
Thanks for checking out this clip from our show.
To watch more clips or full episodes, click on our profile below.
If you want to stay up to date on all of our new episodes and videos, click subscribe.
And if you have any ideas for future guests or topics that you would like to see us cover on the show,
leave us a message in the comments or connect with us on any of our social media channels at Funtime Program.
Or on our website at funtimeprogram.com.
We'll see you in the next one.
Bye-bye.